That down? Let's get into this, shall we? You know, coming off of her global triumph, the Barbie movie, which ended up being the #1 box office film in the world that year, Greta Gerwig had the world at her feet. And for some reason that I still don't understand, she decided to join forces with Netflix to make Chronicles of Narnia.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, there must have been a lot of money, man. 'Cause I still to this day, as a fan of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and C.S. Lewis and Chronicles of Narnia, I mean, I've read C.S. Lewis books that are probably many of you have never heard of, whether the Screw Tape Letters, Mere Christianity, things like that. But
he wrote 3 science fiction novels too.
He did. I'm actually a big fan of him mainly as a theologian, but still. And I love the Chronicles of Narnia, but still, she's doing it. Whatever. But this is interesting. Deadline is now reporting that Daniel Craig has an offer in hand. They have offered him a role in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which means they've negotiated, talked, and he's got an offer. And they wouldn't give him an offer if they didn't think he was probably going to take it. So he hasn't officially joined. It's 99% chance that he's going to do it at this point. Anyway, they wrote the following about this. Exclusive. While it's super early in the deal-making process, sources tell Deadline that Netflix and director Greta Gerwig are aiming high for the next piece of casting on their Chronicles of Narnia movie, as Daniel Craig has an offer to join the cast. Sources stress that it is unknown whether Craig will ultimately come on board, but they do add that he does hold the offer. It is also unknown who he would be playing in the film. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm guessing he's not the witch.
He's going to be investigating who murdered Aslan.
He's Mr. Tumnus.
I was going to say, I do not think you're going to see Mr. Tumnus. I don't think, what's the name of the candy she seduces him with?
Turkish Delights.
Turkish Delights. I don't think he's going to be Turkish Delights, boy.
You know.
I mean,
Have
look.
you had a Turkish Delight?
Look, does anybody, look, it's not official clearly, but does anybody doubt that he's going to be filling in the shoes of Liam Neeson to be the voice of Aslan, right? That's who you get Daniel Craig for. I just don't see who else he could play, do you?
No.
It's kind of what we're all thinking.
Unless he's like the uncle of the kids that opens the.
I thought that
Like
too.
some small role?
I thought that too, possibly.
But I mean, yeah, I was perplexed by that. I don't know who he's going to play.
I mean, look, I just don't see there being any other role that you would get a Daniel Craig to play other than Jesus Cat, right? Jesus Cat is who he's going to be the voice of. And I hope he does it in a thick James Bond accent too. I hope he does it like in a thick James Bond accent.
Jesus Cat.
So look, like I said, I still am perplexed by why Greta Gerwig, who coming off of the biggest film of the year, multiple award seasons, accolades, world at her feet, can do anything she probably wants, choosing to do this particular project. I still don't know why, but you bring somebody like Daniel Craig on board and all of a sudden you have my attention, even if he's just being the voice of Jesus Cat. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. All right, let's be real. There's nothing worse than wanting to stream your favorite show or watch a live game only to find out it's blocked in your country. But guess what? With NordVPN, that is never a problem. With just one click, you can switch your virtual location and access content from anywhere in the world. I have loved using NordVPN. Whether I'm traveling and using public Wi-Fi or just shopping online, NordVPN keeps my personal info safe and private. By switching my location, I can even save money on flights, hotels, and subscriptions. It's like a cheat code for getting the best deals. NordVPN is the fastest VPN in the world, so there's no buffering when I'm streaming. Plus, their threat protection feature blocks malware, trackers, and phishing attempts, keeping my devices safe 24/7. And with just one account, I can protect up to 10 devices, so my whole setup is covered. So to get the best discount on your NordVPN plan, head to nordvpn.com/John Campea, and our link will even give you 4 extra months for free on the 2-year plan. Plus, there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Links in the description. Check it out now.
John, this might be a stupid question, but are they starting with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
I do not know. They have not said.
I don't think they have, because
I think they will, but I haven't heard them say it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that, but there's 7 Narnia books, and Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is not the first.
Magician's-
I mean, it was the first. Yeah, I mean,
Magician's
there's
nephew.
the Silver Chair.
Magician's nephew, Silver
He
Chair.
could
Yeah.
be the magician and the magician's nephew.
I mean, that's the interesting thing. Are they going to do all of it?
You know, it's funny because they keep just referring to it as the Chronicles of Narnia movie.
What?
Yeah.
So so are they going to try to just do like an amalgamation of like Prince Caspian and a couple of the other stories and just kind of make it into one thing, or are they planning on?
I don't know. That's why I just realized I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's back it up a little bit though, Rob, because like I've stated here, I think it was a questionable decision by Greta Gerwig to make this her next project, to be honest with you, especially when the world was kind of at her feet. How are you feeling about her decision to do this? I mean, Cha-ching is right. They probably did give her a big load of money, but I don't know. Do you think it was the right move for her at this point? Do you think it's just she does this while she's developing something else? I don't know. How do you see it?
Like I was just telling you, I spent 2 years of my life covering the filming of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I mean, we were in country in New Zealand for 14 months on that project. It's monstrously huge. I mean, it was the biggest production I've ever been on. I mean, it was gigantic. And I can see, I mean, the thing about Barbie was a lot of it was built in studio.
Yeah.
And so I can see that it was a large movie as well. So I can understand she can probably handle the scope. But as an indie filmmaker, it's perplexing to me that she would jump from Barbie to Narnia, because with this big franchise IP, is this going to dominate her life for the next 10 years? Is she going to make one movie? Like, I guess I'd have to know more about what her intent is in terms of what she hopes to bring to this franchise. Because I was just telling you, Andrew Adamson had only directed the Shrek movies before he had jumped on to this big live action
Chronicles movie,
extravaganza. And it was I admire him because it was a tough job, really difficult work. So I don't know. I mean, I would have thought she would have gone back and done like what Nolan did, do her Prestige or her movie for herself, one for them, one for me. But I mean, hey, if you're going to get Narnia, and maybe she's a huge Narnia fan from the time she was a kid, but I don't know enough about this project to understand. There's got to be something about it that she loves. Otherwise, I mean, this is a daunting project. It's huge. If it's Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it's huge.
But here's the bigger question I have, and this is why I wonder if it was the right decision for her to come and do this. Does the general audience care about what Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe anymore? Do they care about the Chronicles of Narnia? Because that other franchise, it started pretty well. I can't remember how much the first one made, but I think it started pretty solid. But then you eventually just had diminishing returns. They tried to do another kind of thing on a little while ago. That didn't really have interest. I just don't know. I'm not hearing a lot of people going, we really need another take on the Chronicles of Narnia. And I just don't know that there's going to be, even if it is for a streamer like Netflix, I just don't know if the interest is there. Do you think the interest is there with the audience?
Here's the thing. I even thought this, there's a big battle at the end. I think that the Chronicles of Narnia, unlike Lord of the Rings, I mean, The Hobbit was written for children. Lord of the Rings was not. But I think that Lion, the Witch, the whole Chronicles of Narnia skews young. Mm-hmm. Even younger than Harry Potter in a way. Because I read the Narnia books.
But do young kids today know the Chronicles of Narnia?
No, I don't think they do. And I think that the young kids today are maybe it's a little above them. I mean, you can make this work. I'm not saying a great fantasy epic can't work. But the Chronicles of Narnia is what I would call soft. Mm-hmm. It's soft.
It's like the entry level.
Lord of the Rings is apocalyptic, and it's about the end of the world. And it has some really dark themes. Chronicles of Narnia is not that way. So I don't know if today's audiences, and they had the same problem, by the way. I thought Chronicles of Narnia, I thought Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe turned out really, really well for what it was, but it was still soft. Coming on the heels, Lord of the Rings works. We're going to go back and, of course, do C.S. Lewis's Narnia books. And it's like, but they're not the same. They work in a different way. So I don't know. I mean, I would assume that Greta Gerwig has a take on it that everybody loves because they're going to invest a heck of a lot of money. But I don't know. It's perplexing to me.
The first.
Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say the first one did make $745, but then the following two films, Prince Caspian and Voyage of the Dawn Treader
Treader.
were in the 400s, so a big drop.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, like I don't hear anybody asking for a return to Narnia. Somebody in the live chat, and this is a good thing to point out, somebody in the live chat said nobody was asking for a Peacemaker show. True,
That is true.
but we had never had a Peacemaker show.
Right.
We have had the Chronicles of Narnia, and it didn't go over great by the time the franchise ended. So I'm just questioning whether a return to it is great or not. Now, I hope, much like I was never asking for a Peacemaker show and I ended up loving it, I hope Greta Gerwig makes something fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. But like you said, and also the Chronicles of Narnia is a story that it's inherently about 4 kids. If you start with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe,
Yeah.
and they're kids in wartime,
Right,
World War
War
II,
II, yeah.
Britain, and are you going to do that again? Maybe it's an updating. Maybe it's kids today. I don't know.
Kids today.
Kids today go through the wardrobe. Kids today don't know what a wardrobe is. But I'm sure if they found one, they could go through it.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Daniel Craig is apparently being circled to join the upcoming Greta Gerwig's Chronicles of Narnia film. I mean, I love the addition of Daniel Craig to anything. That ups the ante a lot. I think that would be great. I still don't know if this is the right project to do, but still, him adding to it definitely increases my interest. How do you guys feel about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.